All right, good morning, everybody. I'm attorney L. Chris Stewart, managing partner of Stewart Miller Simmons Trial Attorneys, along with Mike Roth from my office and Mike Haggard of the Haggard Law Firm. We're here today for a devastating tragedy, the loss of 3 lives that were the future. 3 young people, 2 of whom were teachers here in New Orleans, 12th grade and 7th grade. Another young, beautiful entrepreneur out of Virginia. All good friends, thinking that they could just do like all of us do right now, go on vacation. Trust Airbnb, because that's what we do. We trust Airbnb. We trust companies to do their job. We trust corporate oversight. And sadly, that didn't happen. 3 young people died due to the odorless killer, carbon monoxide. A death that could have been prevented simply with one of these. With this simple piece of equipment, these lives would have been saved. It's inexcusable. Airbnb had prior knowledge that guests were dying from carbon monoxide poisoning. There's been previous lawsuits. What we don't want to hear is the excuse that's being made right now that we give out or we suggest carbon monoxide detectors to people who list their property. That ends now. We are demanding that Airbnb mandate carbon monoxide detectors in every listing that they have. This isn't about money. This isn't about excuses from Airbnb. Mandate it. You can't tell the world that you don't have the ability to do so, because they've already mandated no one can have parties in Airbnbs anymore, nationally or internationally. They've mandated a number of other things, but they won't do it for something that will save lives. We're here today because these families have lost their loved ones, and we're trying to protect everybody else, because anybody could die in this situation. Any of us. This should send a shockwave through this country. Elected officials should be stepping up and questioning, why isn't this mandated? Nobody travels around with a smoke detector in one hand, a carbon monoxide detector in the other. We just trust companies to do the right thing. And it didn't happen. So we're asking to sit down with Airbnb leadership to see if we can work out a way that this can be mandated to avoid having to do this legal battle and save lives, locally and internationally. A large percentage of Airbnb's business comes from international listings. Protect the people that patron you. And now we're here from, there you go, Ms. Marshall's comments regarding everybody.
It is unfortunate that we stand before you today as completely shattered parents. It is unfortunate that Kandace is not continuing to expand her business and inspiring other young entrepreneurs. It's unfortunate that Courtez and Jordan are not in their classrooms today educating and prepping their students to be future leaders. It is unfortunate that we have to celebrate our holidays with such pain, as our children will no longer be with us. It is unfortunate, and it also infuriates us that we will never have the opportunity to talk to laugh with, or comfort our children, and that their lives could have been saved by a $30 carbon monoxide detector. It is unfortunate that Airbnb's CEO pledges to provide carbon monoxide detectors to hosts who may need them, as opposed to implementing mandates to ensure that properly functioning detectors are required in all of their vacation rentals, irregardless of the country. We could stand here and go on and on about many unfortunate realities that we must face in our sad new normal of grief and loss. We don't want any other family to have to endure such a harsh series of unfortunate events, which is our goal moving forward. We want to bring awareness to the lack of regulations regarding carbon monoxide detectors and to encourage everyone who is considering Airbnb or other short-term vacation rental companies to demand They put you and your family's safety above their profit margin. If Airbnb can implement regulations to ban parties, then certainly they can mandate protocols to prioritize the safety of their patrons. We know Courtez. Jordan and Kandace, they're here with us in spirit, and we know that they are proud of the work we are doing to bring awareness to this important issue. Our children, we love you, and we will not rest until we have justice for Courtez, for Jordan, and for Kandace.
Good morning. Again, my name is Michael Haggard from the Haggard Law Firm in Miami, Florida. And Chris Stewart and I have partnered on other significant cases across the country before. And this lawsuit will be filed against Airbnb in the coming weeks. And as Chris said, the goal of these incredible families is to change the policies of this behemoth in the hospitality industry. That's what they are. Airbnb has 7 million listings across the world. 7 million. And not only do they have control over all these listings, but they really sit there in the catbird seat, where they say it's somebody else's ownership, it's somebody else's home, we just take a cut. We book the listing, we take a cut, and we move on. And we all know they have control. What did they do immediately after this terrible tragedy? They suspended the listing, which is something had they done beforehand and they had inspected the actual unit, this never happens. And these 3 beautiful souls are continuing with their bright lights, and that is not the case, because Airbnb sits there and says, well, we don't inspect, we don't require, but we'll give out, if you want them, 200,000 carbon monoxide detectors. Well, there's 7 million units. This case is about change, not only in the United States, but Airbnb's knowledge of this is incredible. 1 year before this, in Mexico, in Guadalajara, a young woman from California who had graduated from UCLA was killed by carbon monoxide poisoning, where there was no carbon monoxide detector in her Airbnb listing. A year before, these parents have to hear that they knew about the exact problem. 2 years before that, the same exact thing had happened in Colombia. 2.5 years before that, in Taipei, China, a case that they settled, carbon monoxide poisoning. Having all this knowledge, but not telling the families, not controlling their listings, which is something that they totally have the ability to do, and they have to do. Obviously, we all know that the United States, certain states, and certain municipalities have strict regulations with regard to carbon monoxide detectors. We know other countries don't. That's not an excuse. If you want to list in those countries and you want to be the destination place for young Americans, old Americans, families going on vacation, you know what the industry standard is, and that's to have the $30 unit that does one thing. It saves lives. One last message from the families, as what they don't want is someone 3 months from now, 6 months from now, standing here experiencing the same preventable incident like they are. It is unthinkable to lose a child. But to lose a child and hear that someone else lost their child in the same way multiple times before by the same company's negligence is unthinkable. They want this to change. And we are sitting here at the precipice of holiday season. Families are at their kitchen tables right now saying, where do you want to go? Why don't we not stay in a hotel and get an Airbnb? And they have no idea what silent danger awaits. So the families are imploring all of you, talking to the families, not only in New Orleans, Louisiana, but the United States, be very careful. if you're going to choose Airbnb. We know that if you stay in a Marriott, a Hilton, wherever it is, they're going to have carbon monoxide detectors. That's a foregone conclusion, no matter what country they're in. Airbnb has entered the hospitality industry, and they have decided to become a major player, and they need to act with the standards and the care that the other players, like hotels, do in this industry. Thank you.
Briefly, we want to make it very clear, because there's been questions or discussion about, for a fact, all three individuals died from carbon monoxide poisoning. We received that information from the government. It's been confirmed. We've actually reviewed the police report from Mexico City. It was carbon monoxide poisoning, not drugs. There were no drugs in their system, not alcohol. They were down there to celebrate. And it wasn't anything to do with the trip. It wasn't any outside source. It was listed as only carbon monoxide poisoning, which is devastating and scary, because more people are going to die if this is not fixed right now. Right now. Quick question and answer.
Just wanted to know, like, have you heard anything from that particular Airbnb where the three stayed? If you could just kind of tell me about anything you heard from them, because I know the lawsuit is against Airbnb, but then also against this particular Airbnb, right? If you could talk to us more about that.
We have not heard anything directly, because there is an ongoing investigation, both civil and criminal. So there's an investigation going on right now in Mexico. So we haven't heard anything.
Sorry, and what was the name of the high-rise apartment where they were staying at?
We can get it to you, because it's a long name.
I just want to confirm, so we make who is.
Yeah, can everybody introduce themselves?
Your name, each.
You can come up here.
My name is Ciola Hall. I'm Courtez Hall's mother.
And how old?
Courtez was 33 years old.
We are Kelvin and Frida Florence, parents of Kandace Florence, and she was 28 years old, just a week shy of her 29th birthday.
November 10th would have been her birthday.
She went away every year for her birthday.
Hi, Larry and Jennifer Marshall. Our son, Jordan Marshall, he was 28 years old.
The three knew each other lifelong friends. How did the three know?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about them.
So Jordan and Kandace were schoolmates from middle school on. And although Jordan moved here to Louisiana, he still traveled with Kandace. They traveled pretty much all over the world together, so they've been the best of friends. Courtez, Jordan met Courtez when he moved to Louisiana, and Courtez is also an educator. Jordan was a teacher, and they formed a good friendship as well, so.
Where did Jordan attend? Like, where did he teach? Because I know he also taught here in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, collegiate academies. He was a 12th grade English teacher.
And I just want to hear more about y'all's children as well. Ciola, I just want to hear more of it.
Courtez is a native of New Orleans, Louisiana. He was born and raised here. He's a wonderful child. He loved people. He loved his mom. He loved his family. He loved friends. We'll give you the shirt off his back. He just was a wonderful child. He has several jobs he has worked. He worked at Target for a long time out of high school and landed a great job in Atlanta, where he moved back here, where he decided he wanted to come home and be closer to his family. I just can't say enough about him. He just was a great child, and anybody that met him, they would love him, for what he was. And he loved to sing. He loved church. He just loved people. And And I can't say enough more about him.
And I know the last time we talked, you had a warning for parents, and I know we just talked about
Yes.
the warning that you wanted to.
Yes. I don't know, when this came out, when I found out about Courtez, the only thing I would just relieve me is to have, just to do something in memory of him, is warn the other families out there about your children, where they're going, find out, get the information from them, Airbnb, where they're staying, what airport they left out, where their car is at. Make sure that you have all the information that you need. Because once they're over there, then you don't have anything here, to go by. We had to look a lot for his car, where it was, and didn't know anything. It didn't have his, just had to keep looking for the car. The car wasn't parked at the airport. So you want to get much detail from your children as you can when they are leaving, because you don't never know. That might be your last time seeing them. I don't want any other parents to go through what we went through. So therefore, I wanted to speak out.
Kandace was the youngest of 4 children. She had 3 older brothers, so she was special. She was the baby girl who could think for herself and do for herself. And I'm so grateful for Kandace. God put on her heart. She said during the trials of COVID, I'm not going to live rent-free. I can't pay you. I'm going home. I got a house. And so she went home. And once she got home, she said, Mom, I'm going to start my own business. And I watched her. I'm a teacher. I had the room over the garage teaching ridiculously 4-year-olds how to learn on Zoom. She was downstairs in the kitchen preparing candles, handmade candles, soy candles. And she put her spin on it, because there are plenty of candle companies out there. She said, okay, affirmations. I'm going to give people some kind of hope in this time. And so she did it. And tragically, my baby is not here to share her affirmations anymore. But I know she left a legacy. She had a prophecy. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to show people how to keep going in spite of controversy. I am going to not go through it. I'm going to glow through it. And so her candles had a special light. And as you read the affirmation on the candles, for example, one of her most recent ones are salute. Her and Jordan had gone to Portugal and Spain. And you get your phrases from the people around you. And so S-A-L-U-T, salute, meaning, even though I'm going through these challenges right now, it's okay. And so I leave you with this message. Hold tight to your children. Love them, because you blink your eye and they're gone. Just hold tight to those babies. This is a holiday season. We're all together. We're all thinking the same things. Christmas, lights, it was her favorite holiday. And so we are going to do something special for Christmas. We're going to light our candles throughout the world. Thank you.
We okay, we okay.
And just briefly to clear up, the lawsuit has not been filed as of yet. I would say within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Any last question before we're done? All right, thank y'all.
Why don't we just get video of y'all staying up there and just so we can get some pictures of y'all?
We would love to show in our story the candles and the affirmations. Would you be willing to share?
I just have 3 with me that I was going to share with the ladies and Chris.
You have them?
I have 3 in my pocketbook.
Okay, oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
You brought them as gifts.
Yeah, we are forever bound, just as mothers who raised our children, we were proud. You guys know the tragedy can just destroy you. But you know how hard it is to raise children, and just to know that they made it. They made it, in spite of all of your controversies.
With us, just so I can make sure I'm clear on it, just what the lawsuit will entail. If you could just kind of talk to us a little bit more about the lawsuit.
Yeah, as we know, sadly, companies only speak in the language of money, which is our belief of why these have not been mandated everywhere, where they would have to pay for them. Or if they didn't, if a unit does not have one, that listing would have to come down. That will cost millions and millions, tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions. So a lawsuit is needed to change that. We know they had knowledge of this issue of carbon monoxide and gas. So that's where it goes. We don't know all of the defendants right now, but we do know it starts and stops with Airbnb. All right, thank y'all.